Hey everyone, Andrew Freck here, the View and Product Reviews. Today I want to talk to you about my thoughts on the TeloRock mini scale remote control cars and seeing if they're worth picking up or not. So let's go and dive into these two remote control cars and see if they're worth the pickup. So I will say right off the bat, I was expecting these cars to be a little bit bigger than they are, but they are a lot of fun to use and they seem to work pretty well. Now just mind you that you do need to keep them on like a solid surface, so like a hardwood floor or a tile flooring or even like a nice soft driveway area. But as soon as you get onto carpets and different kinds of textures, it does become much more difficult to drive on them. So keep that in mind. They are a little tricky to drive on because their wheels and everything's just so tiny on them. But in each box comes 8 little cones, so you can kind of set up a little raceway for yourself, and 5 little extra tires. However, I did have some difficulty putting the tires on any of these vehicles. I think the wheels are a little bit too close to the chassis, so it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to put on, and so I decided to skip that part. And then the remote control, it is nice. It's a little cheap feeling, and then it does take 4 AAA batteries, but for the most part, it seems to do the job pretty well, and all the buttons on it work fairly smooth. So I'll show you a quick example of one of the cars that I turn on. So for example, this car has its own little headlights and brake lights, which you can turn on and off. So you can see this. This should be off, back on. You actually have little flashers on there as well. So the car flashes when it's, I don't know, like say you're having a road service issue with your vehicle. You can get the lights to flash on there and you can turn that off. So all with the click of the buttons on this, and you can adjust the speed with these little buttons up top. So you can make it a little faster or make it a little slower, going from a low, medium, and high speed settings. So depending on how fast you want to race, you can change the settings up there and it makes it super easy. And this wheel turns the car. So you can see the wheels. And it seems to be very responsive, seems to work well. Plus this car has a 4-wheel drive, so all 4 wheels do spin when you do run them. So you'll see right this. Plus you have a little reverse system. The reversing doesn't always seem to work, and I'm not too sure why, but you can, if you flip this lever forward, it reverses it versus pulling back. So I'm not too sure why it doesn't always work, but it does reverse as well. So both these vehicles, you can fast charge them in about 30 minutes and then have about 30 minutes of racing time with them after they've been fully charged, all through a little USB-C charging right in the car itself. So it might be a little bit hard to see. But then the batteries themselves take the 4 double AAAs, like I said, which is quite annoying, but it is what it is because nowadays I'd much rather have a rechargeable controller, but it's totally fine. The car itself is rechargeable though. And then when you do want to turn the wheels on this, you actually have a plus or minus 60-degree turning. So like your throttle and your steering can turn up to about 60 degrees, which makes it super handy. And you can even adjust the tilt of these wheels right there. So you actually have a trim section. So I'll press on the trim buttons and it turns the wheels themselves back and forth. And you can kind of see it as it turns a little slowly. Makes it actually pretty handy because if they are crooked for any reason, you just mess with the trim sections up here and you can trim it back and forth to make sure they're completely straight and the car moves forward straight. And lastly, they are made with an ABS durable frame, so it does make it a little bit better playing around with them, whether outside or inside, so it makes them very durable while you are using them. And overall, I think the packaging is cool, and I think they're a lot of fun for a little one or someone who just enjoys little model cars. And like I said, they are really tiny, so just keep that in mind. But I think it's a lot of fun, and we've enjoyed playing with them a little bit, and just they're cool. Maybe change the remote and make it not AAA rechargeable, but outside of that, everything else seems to work really well with them. So thank you so much to TeloRock for sending on over the mini remote control cars. It's a 2-pack of cars. Until next time, my name's Andrew Freck, the View and Product Reviews. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.